so that hopefully when it saves, we can have it, and then we can show the guys what we talking about. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, got you, got you.
Yeah. So like a
But
brief overview. Oh, sorry. So a brief overview. Mina Musangwenya, Pirate supporter, all the way from Durban. Yeah, but I'm originally from Joburg. So yeah, Pagania, Sazon Shai Pagania. So the next person can introduce themselves.
sorry, Musa, man. We all make mistakes. We pagania Brian. Yeah, no, sorry, man. So, Rusfiso,
Siyakuzwela mfethu, sorry.
I'm gonna, but it's never too late to change, eh? As people say, a wise man changes his mind. So, my man, let's talk. We are your friends. So, if you say good, we are more than good. Every season, I want this season is our season, and then you see, and then you see the back was signed 9 players, 11 players, but I want this season is straight one.
Yeah.
Guys, can we move on to the next person to introduce themselves? Shaka Kulus Uspisa.
Yeah, no,
Okay, sure, Fethu. My name is Edwin. I'm a Kaiser Chiefs supporter. My dad is a Pirates fan, Anton. So I still do need to show I do still need to show respect to Pirates, but thanks to them, we are here now today. So yeah, some of us made good choices in life, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Respect the elders. Like you said, there's a great team, and then there's an old team. So respect.
Double trebles, guys. Double trebles.
That's history. Okay, my name is Tulani Ngobo. I'm a Kaiser Chiefs supporter. I can see Kaiser Chiefs is dominator. As I said earlier on, Kaiser Chiefs is always dominating everywhere. Up and down, wherever. Kaiser Chiefs is always dominating, and you will never ever stop us from dominating. And even now, you can see we're still on top of the league since the first round of the season. So unfortunately, abantu abanjengana amabhakane esimonela alethi coronavirus eSouth Africa ukuthi thina singakwazi ukuwina ileague.
Today is the last day of May. Ngabe sesiqedene ukucelebrate ileague.
Abeqedile mfethu.
9 of May long past.
We'd be having a pride, drinking a beer, welcoming you winter. And ngabe siwine namale nto wazabona ngabe ama-awards e-PSL ngabe seqedi ngabe sicollecte wonke lama-awards lawa. Player of the season, goal of the season. You understand? Top goal scorer of the season. You understand? So because I'm not here. Yeah.
Hey boy, aku lodge.
Wasale Egypt.
Moses.
Musa, thing is with local football, I think everybody has now picked up on the fact that once you have a song that is your name, forget the next season. Flop. It's been proven many times. Once you get a song with your name, game over.
I mean, I feel sorry for Lodge, eh? I feel sorry for the guy, man. I mean,
game how do you go? Once you get a song with your name, it's done.
Was he a footballer of the season or something like that? And then now, way past halfway season, he hasn't even had one assist. Not even a goal, one assist.
But truth be told, guys, I'm a Pirate supporter, but I've always said this about Lodge. Nothing personal to Lodge, but Pirates. And in a lot of instances, Lodge has some inconsistencies. Maybe it's a syndrome. I'm a player manning PSL, but sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. Uzo walk into a game with Lodge uzobulala, and then I lose to get paid. And if you look at like some of the Sundowns players, they can kill any team. And then Upita be so confident. And then come the next game, how Sundowns to see a shower 4-3. And that's how do you guys feel about that? The inconsistency.
Yeah, that is there, but Lower Lodge is extreme case. It's extreme case, that one.
As I said, with wasala Egypt, yakhumbula even in the Bible, Moses azange afike naseKenani. You understand?
Because it's a Sunday, you shout out my Bible symbols.
You must remember he never even reached ezweni lesithembiso. So he so he's still on his way. But then I think, on a serious note, I think uLodge wayezitshela ukuthi this season uzobedlala overseas, and iPirates yamnqabela ukuthi avaye. So kusana lokho kwaleyo, you understand ukuthi I was supposed to be playing overseas and now I didn't go. Maybe to ukuthi chairman yakhe ayizange imvumele ukuthi avaye, so asazi maybe about close to Pirates, they might maybe know that story. But then according to my understanding, uLodge was supposed to go overseas, but he couldn't go because of abamvumelanga egaming. And the London lawyer, because of uyintwana naye engqondweni yakhe yangena lonto le yasinka ukuthi labantu ngifuna ukuvaya abafuni, so now isikhathi ukuthi manje ngidonsa izinyawo, without thinking ukuthi the more donsa izinyawo, you are not punishing your manager or your supporters, you are punishing yourself, because of umzimba wakho kumele uhlezi udlala. You understand into ezinjalo. So I think washawa lonto le ukuthi his move overseas didn't materialize.
Okay, can I ask something?
I can agree. Sorry to cut you off, Musa, but I can agree.
I wanted to, besides that, but before you are fair, I wanted to ask you, Edwin, do you think uLodge is overseas material? Like, can he make it in an English league or Europe, like or Turkey or Italy? Do you think he can make it, uLodge? Before just a quick answer, then you can go back to what you wanted to say.
Is it just a yes or no without giving a reason, or?
No, don't give a yes or
no. Just be brief.
Because we need to be honest and look at it this way. Not a lot of players can cope with the English football. Like, English football is very rough. It's very pacey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have that much time on the ball. It'd be suited to a league like Belgium. It'd be suited to France. Leagues like those that kind of like, get you into Europe with the hope of getting onto a bigger league, instead of jumping directly from the PSL to the Premiership. Because we can throw it back to when Mbesuma was around. He absolutely busted in the PSL. And then he went to Portsmouth the next season. His style of play was very ineffective. You know what I'm saying? And he's a bulky guy. He's a heavy guy. He can handle heavy defenders, and he wasn't able to cope. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I'm not going to answer as a Kaizer Chiefs fan. I'm going to answer as a South African and say, to be honest, I don't think he would have coped.
Okay. Okay, carry on what you wanted to say now.
Okay, my question was going to be another thing, adding on to what Uthulani had said earlier. uLodge, not only was he demotivated from not getting his move, but you go into every match knowing that every player that's marking you from the opposition team is playing against the so-called best player from the last season. So every defender that's coming against them is trying to put in a shift because they know that attention is going to be on the guy. And to be honest, consistency never really happens for players that were player of the season before. The following season, they kind of drop off a bit for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So it was bound to happen that he wasn't going to have a good season, in my opinion.
Okay. But if you look at it, Teko Modise was player of the season and then player of the season again. So he was consistent then because he was regarded to be.
Done that.
But I think with Teko, he got sabotaged the same way as Lodge got sabotaged, where they didn't want to release him to overseas. And a lot of players have been suffering that. Even Shaba had the same thing. Look at Kune right now. Kune was too far, like injuries everywhere. He was supposed to be overseas, giving other kids a chance here, go Chiefs.
Okay, but if we look at if we look at, for example, and I know I might ruffle some feathers with what I'm about to say, a player like Teko, a player like Kune, a player like Shaba, a whole bunch of them have the same agent or had the same agents at some point. Some of these agents are keeping some of these local guys from going abroad for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't blame the club and say the clubs don't want to release players. But if your agent is supposed to be representing you. If he feels that if this player goes abroad, I'm going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, these agents have the power to keep a player from going abroad. They honestly do. I was reading an article about an hour ago about Ushabala having went to Nottingham Forest, and teams wanted him, but supposedly Kaizer Chiefs were looking at transfer fees. We don't know what the amount was.
Story as well.
Yeah, and considering that this is 10 years ago, we would then have to see what these clubs wanted to pay. But to be honest, the agent could have easily taken the information from Kaizer Chiefs and added an extra 4 million, for example, just so that those teams be thrown off from wanting the player. So it's not only the clubs, the agents are playing a part as well.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So in Rakumete uthini ngaloko ba? Uthini?
I know, Lodge. I've never afraid. You know what? I think Lodge is overrated.
Thank you.
Eh?
Nothing personal. Nothing personal. Thank you.
Nothing personal is not. I think for me, I mean, you're talking about overseas. I mean, PSL wise, you're talking Pirate. Who else can buy him except the Pirate, really? I mean, for me, I don't really see him as a overseas material. I mean, yes, he won was it a player of football of the season last year against the likes of Wabuzwan and stuff, which I think they deserve it more than him. But I mean, you're talking about this season being sort of like a target person or being mic'd left, right, and center. I haven't seen that really from Lodge. Lodge has not been himself. Whether it's because of the contract issue or what, it's a different case. Or whether it's just him personally not having that thing of just being consistent and producing what he produced the previous season. But I mean, 17 games and 1 goal. I don't care what you say. For me, bruh, I feel like I think whether he was lucky or which luck is part of football, but I think he might have been lucky last season, being found at the right place at the right time, and he managed to contribute for the team and score some goals. But this season, I know what for me, you can't have a one-hit wonder season, and then now we think you have to go overseas. Be consistent. Play a season 2, 3. Then we can say, okay, now we know what to expect from this guy. Now, like, it goes back to the Egypt thing, right? Remember, people were crying for Lodge to be included and whatnot. And then, okay, the coach finally decided, okay, let's put the guy in, right? And then he scored. What else did he do after that? Nothing. So that lack of consistency from him, you never know what you're gonna get on a day from him. And for me, that is not the kind of material that you expect to export overseas, because there you're looking for consistency each and every game for sure.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Prasviso. Mapolo, before we get, I wanted to ask you guys something, and Mapolo, you bro. I wanted to ask in terms of like Udadins. There's rumors that said there was, Anito Pizzo was renewing his contract and was contemplating otherwise, probably maybe another Bafana deal. But there are rumors that saying one of the big teams offered him a contract. So I wanted to ask you guys, as Kaizer Chiefs supporters, would you have liked Pizzo to be part of the management?
Hell no!
You'll get your chance, Edwin. I just want to hear Mapoloba's option. Would you have liked Pizzo to be part of the management of the Kaizer Chiefs, considering what he has done for Sundowns, basically?
Okay. Thank you. Which one must I start with? Must I start with Lodge or must I start with Pizzo?
I think you've answered the 1 year Lodge. Was Salah Egypt?
That was a joke. Okay. No, let me just
okay. You can answer it as well.
Let me just put a 1 minute thought. Lodge, the the problem with Uloch, is because he targeted only one team. He was performing only against Kaizer Chiefs. Understand?
And you know that was coming.
He wanted to set his mindset, to put his mindset. His strength with Kaizer Chiefs. Each and everyone knew Gucci when he plays against.
Wafunda kugabuza yakhumbula ugabuza bekanjalo.
That's the same thing.
Boza makadlala ne-Chiefs uzoscore.
Uzoscore. Understand?
Even Jerry Skosana futhi ne.
Buyani, Jerry Skosana, a lot of them, understand, they would do the same. And inkinga ukuthi manje abayicabanga ukuthi lento le mudlala ne-Kaizer Chiefs, I mean uzothola 3 points more winning. You don't get 6 points or 10 points. So they forget ukuthi there are other teams. I remember even teams like our Fal Professionals and our African Wanderers, and our Blackpool, they used to play well when they play Chiefs. And even Shippa United, and they forgot Guti. There are other teams, and you ask yourself, Guti, where are they right now? Kaizer Chiefs is still there. Pirates, Sundowns are still there, but all these so-called small teams, they want to perform well when they play against Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns. With the mindset of Guti, when you play against Chiefs or Pirates, Sundowns, you are playing as you are in the trials. Understand? They want to show Kaizer Chiefs or Pirates, Sundowns, what are they capable of, and they want to sell themselves. At the same time, they start to be selfish and not wanting to pass other players, and then they end up wanting to shoot even if they are in awkward positions. But then, all in all, he didn't, he had a target. According to me, the target that he set, which, you know what, I want to do this for my individual gain, not for the team. Understand? As for Upito Fetu, Mina Upito, I don't think he's a good coach, according to me.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, Upito has got a support from the chairman, and the chairman has got any amount of money to buy any player that he wants to bring. He can bring Messi, he can bring Ronaldo. He's a billionaire, that guy. Understand? So each and every, if you can remember, each and every player that was searched by Sundowns, I mean by Chiefs or Pirates, Sundowns will get them. Sundowns will buy them and put them on the bench. You understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes they will buy them and loan them, and they came with that rule, which they don't play against us.
Yeah.
You understand? So Sundowns is playing good football, not because of the coach, but because of they have quality players. Like, they have got quality squad. So they can do whatever they want to do because of, one, their players are happy because of that, paid very well. If you are paid very well, you are always capable of doing everything right for your team because of, Uchi, if I don't perform, there's 3 players who are playing in my same position. Once one get a lower performer well, I'm out. We understand. So, like, I like, I'd like to also jump. I like what Andy Lejali did. Mayfield Pirate to Sundowns. he fought for his position. You understand? And look where he is right now. So
he's still nowhere. Though, Chief.
But
consider how.
But he's in the starting lineup every game. He has cemented his position at Sundowns.
He's not the same. Maybe with some Kalela. But Ian Uchal is still not. He's not the same. Now a lot of guys.
Usfana ukhalela uJali upha uzobuya at least. Uzobuya.
Asamfuni. Skadele. Ngena magola.
Upita wena. You're a bitter loser.
No, but besides that, I'm not a bitter loser. Hopefully, I'm fun to seem like that. But a part of me feels it's history repeating itself. Vilakazi did the same thing and gave Pirates the middle finger. Mabizela did the same thing, gave Pirates the middle finger. You know, a lot of the players, Helman Kelele did the same thing, gave Pirates the middle finger, and you know, they were unable to do the things that make the pots to happen. You know, and with that said, yeah. So yeah, and I'd like to pose this very same question to Edwin because he was so passionate with Agamfunu Pizzo, but answer it in a very quick and short manner.
Okay, first and foremost, Peter does a brilliant job. I don't think any of us can dispute that, considering what he did at SuperSport United, considering what he's doing with Sundowns now. But Peter is the same type of coach that Mourinho is. They need money. If they don't have money to recruit, he's not going to build a proper team. You know what I'm saying? Given the current Kaizer Chiefs squad, he won't do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? Also, look at the way that Kaizer Chiefs recruit players. You're no longer getting like a top player, buying them out of their contracts. We're now waiting for players' contracts to run out, picking up on free deals. Opito wouldn't be able to cope under those conditions. Stuart Baxter couldn't cope under those conditions. That's why he left. You know what I'm saying? So Upito is a checkbook manager. You know what I'm saying? If he has a problem in his team, whip out the checkbook, we get a player, we plug the hole. You know what I'm saying? He's not that type of manager that's going to get a youth player and give him time. He just wouldn't cope. He'd be a very bad fit at the team.
I'll tell a lot for a comment. I'd like to know.
No, you know what? Contrary to what you may think I'll say about Pizzo, for me, to be honest, I give him the credit. As a coach, I think, and as a manager, I think he has done brilliantly especially for Sundowns. We know what he did to go SuperSport, and it was quite remarkable as well. But I think what he has managed to achieve for Sundowns, I think he's been there for 7 years. And league-wise, I mean, he has swept everything, really. So for me, I understand that he has quality, but I also think you can have the good quality, but if you're a bad manager or not a good coach, you still fail. So I think for me, he has done brilliantly. The one thing I don't like about Upito is his attitude and his arrogance in a way. But I think in terms of his technical abilities and skills, I think he's the best we have in South Africa. But personally, I wouldn't like to see him at Kaizer Chiefs, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't want to associate such an arrogant guy who just opens his mouth and talk about anything out there in the world. Associate him with his brand and this badge, because I really respect and love this badge, and I think this badge has to be respected. For me, I think that's who I am. As great as he is, but I wouldn't like to see him at Chiefs.
To throw a spanner in what you have said, like throws a spanner into the world. To remind you of the times of Shane McGregor, you know, your Ted Dimitrios, you know, white coaches have basically, even Baxter's done well. So white coaches do well at Chiefs. So how about a Gavin Hunt at Chiefs?
No.
Yeah.
Case closed. No.
I mean, I'll have to find a basis for it. Like, not just because he's white, and maybe he's likely to succeed because he's white.
Not that. But it's just that Chiefs get a good track record.
I can't really say I enjoy the type of football that he plays. I mean, from SuperSport to how Vets plays now, I can't say there's an identity in the team that he has. I don't know what kind of football. It's like just
can I interject? Can I interject?
Yeah.
Are you aware that Gavin Hunt is responsible for the coaching of Benny McCarthy, the coaching abo Mlambo, which is the way they are. Even about Kanti, they've been rising. Just to mention a few. Gavin has coached a lot of players. Even at SuperSport, he's developed a lot of players. He's developed a lot of players.
You know what?
September. Abokasa. You remember that Morgan Gold? so that's I'm just saying maybe it doesn't show, but the thing is there's a lot of technical ability and tactical awareness that Gavin Hunt gives players. And I mean, I would like
Yeah.
such a coach. And he fights that guy.
No, I get you. He's a fighter. Yes, he's done what he's done, Abo Morgan and whoever else. But for me, I just don't feel him. I just don't see him at Chiefs. I don't know what he can offer us really.
But for now personally, look, Chiefs will win a match. Chiefs can win a match, and we supporters will still complain. You know what I'm saying? No, this one didn't play proper. No, we only scored 1 goal. No, the style of play is bad. Gavin Hunt's style of play it does not associate with our brand of football.
Yeah, for me, I think just to interject, I think for me it will be similar to what Middledorp is doing. I mean, if you have a Kaizer Chiefs supporter out there that can honestly tell you that they are the happiest with the coach that we have, despite us winning a couple of games and stuff, you can't really say you're comfortable with the way he plays and also his attitude. He's one of the coldest guy that you can ever find out there. So for me, winning is not everything, to be honest.
Okay.
You need someone who's going to
need to be
with the team.
You need to win in a specific way.
And
Like, okay.
With that said, before that, before Siagut, I'd like you, Mapoloba, to just hook up a wrap up of everything because it's your show 6 and 6 is family time and the rest. Hey guys, we need to scoop back. But I'd like Mapoloba to just wrap up on everything. And because we can go on here, like something.
No,
okay, Mapolo.
I mean, according to me, thanks for the opportunity. According to me, I firstly, you need money to run your team. You understand? Gavin Hunt did well at SuperSport and at Vets there and there because of he had. There's this guy who he was with at SuperSport. Then he came with to Vets and as a CEO, and he retired recently. That guy was good in recruiting, and he was making sure that their team, they spend a lot of money to acquire players, and they managed to also build players like Abo Mhango, Abo Hlanti, and so on and so on. But then, according to me, in terms of the style of play that I would like to see Chiefs play is the style of play Esga Den Malisel. If he can get players, I'm definitely sure that he can do something at Chiefs because of what Chippa United plays is what Abo Chabupule used to do at Chiefs. Unfortunately, Chippa United, Chippa on his own, he likes to sell players or the so-called small teams. When a player is performing well, they sell them. So previously, it wouldn't happen like that. You would keep a player forever. But then now, according to me, I'd like to see Dan Malisela coaching Chiefs. Thank you. But given the fact that he's giving the money to acquire whatever player that he wants, because a lot of players want to play, and a lot of good players, they want to play for Chiefs.
You know, that won't happen at Chiefs. Chiefs is a business. It's not like the Sundowns. Chiefs is a business. We don't have a blank check there.
That's a thing.
So if you bring him on that premise already,
and that's what I wish.
Because he has to work with whatever that Bobby signs.
That's my wish.
Buy for him.
Guys. No, guys, it was nice once again. So this clearly states that we do not need nobody higher powers and everything. We can do this, guys. So I'd like to have more guys, encourage them. Apollo, you would probably save the video and probably I'm going to put a friend request towards you on Facebook. So I would like that video which we post there, if it's possible. And when Edwin would see Nila Ponjaya.
No, just to close it off because my thoughts was about to cut. Local coaches, I don't know. I don't know what local coach we can get, but whoever we get, the way that Kaizer Chiefs is run, unfortunately, you're walking into a sinking ship. Like no one will top that. The way in which recruitment works.
Bring Baxter. Bring back Baxter.
But
when you bring back Baxter, you must give him money. He wants money and players.
Baxter left because he didn't have control over recruitment. That's why he left. There was nothing else. He left because he didn't have a hold on who he wanted to recruit. And unfortunately, we can sit here and cry, but that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So long as Pobile and a recruiter
okay. on that bombshell of money and Bobby, we have a little chance. Let's wrap this up. It was good. Cheers, mates. Hopefully next weekend we can do this again. All right, cheers. Cheers.
Sure. Thanks for setting up, man. It was good.
Thanks, man.
Away.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Sure.
Sure.